We all been in relationships where we do a lot for the other person, and all they do is take advantage of us, manipulate us, and don't care about us. They only care about themselves. And when you let them know what's hurting you and tell them to stop flirting with other guys, they want to make you sound like you're the problem, that you have trust issues, and that whatever they're doing is not a big deal. And no matter how wrong they are and how bad they treat you, you're always the bad guy. And when you catch them doing something that they're not supposed to, when you catch them cheating, they'll somehow convince you that they weren't cheating and that you're crazy. And when you tell them that you're leaving and that you're breaking up with them, they cry and they want to say how much they're sorry and that they didn't do anything wrong and that you should believe them. But they're only crying because they got caught. They're not crying because they actually care about you. And I get it. It can be confusing because I guess nobody really describes it this way, but they're crying because they don't want to lose you. But at the same time, they don't hesitate to hurt you. They don't hesitate to cheat on you. When another guy catches their attention or flirts with them, they'll flirt back and they will cheat. But when they're crying, it's real. And that's what makes it confusing. And there's a couple reasons why they're crying. You know, everybody just says they're crying because they got caught and that they don't actually care. And part of that is true, but there's more to it. They're crying because they don't want to lose you. And they're crying because you want to break up with them. But they will use that emotion and cry harder and try to convince you that they've changed, that they won't do it again. So they're utilizing that emotion to manipulate you. And that's the part that gets people to take them back, because they are genuinely crying, but it's for the wrong intentions. They're using the pain that they feel when you leave to get the tears out. And once the emotion is there and they're crying, they will now use that tear to convince you that they've changed, but they didn't. They're just using it to manipulate you, and they'll do it in different ways. Some of them will convince you that they've changed. Others will blame you and say that everything is your fault and that you just have trust issues and that you just need to trust them because you're the crazy one. And then there are some that genuinely believe that they've changed, that they'll never do it again. But once a cheater, always a cheater. Loyalty is something you have or you don't. If someone's not loyal, they can't change that. That's who they are at the core. And if someone is loyal, they'll be loyal no matter what, because that's the principle that they live by. And what you gotta understand is when you're in toxic relationships or relationships where the other person cheats on you and the other person talks about changing, they will change when y'all get back together, but it's temporary. That's what you gotta keep in mind. The change is always temporary. Whether it's you don't like how they treat you or you don't like how they cheated on you. When they get back with you, there will be a change. They will be on their best behavior temporarily. It could last a week. It could last a month. It could last a year. I've been in a lot of bad relationships. Relationships where they talked about how they're gonna stop flirting with other guys and that they care about me. But those are only words. You can't listen to what they say. You gotta watch what they do. That's who they really are. And when they say they won't flirt again, when they say that they're gonna try to work on this relationship, and they will change, but it's usually for a month or a couple of months, but they always go back to their old ways. Their old habits, though, who they are always comes out. Their true colors. And they'll go back to flirting with other guys. They'll go back to being selfish and only care about themselves and won't care about how much you're hurting. And those are relationships that you just have to leave behind. If someone doesn't treat you right, you have to leave. If someone doesn't respect you, you have to leave. They don't deserve how well you treat them. And it gets worse when they leave you for someone else, or when they leave you and they have a rebound, but then that rebound doesn't work out. Who they left you for don't want them anymore, so they come running back to you because they think you'll take them back. And then when they feel lonely and they want that familiar loving feeling that they had when they were with you, when they think about that, then they'll come running back to you and tell you about how much they care about you, how much they miss you, and how much they'll never hurt you again. all lies. Don't believe a word. Because if they actually cared about you, they would have never hurt you in the first place. Think about when you care about someone. You always put them first. You would never do anything to hurt them. And that's how you can tell they don't actually care about you. Because if they actually care about you, they would treat you like the way you treat people that you care about, and how you respect those people and you respect their boundaries, and how you always put those people first, the people you care about. That's genuine care, and that's genuine respect. But these toxic relationships, the people that cheat on you, the people that don't respect you, they don't deserve you. And I understand. We make excuses for their toxic behavior. We make excuses for when they disrespect us. We make excuses for the red flags. But we need to stop. We need to wake up. And I get it. Sometimes we feel like we see the good side of them that other people don't see. And we tell others that I know her. She's a good girl. But we need to stop lying to ourselves. A lot of times we're just in our minds and we have a fantasy of who they are, rather than accepting the reality of who they actually are. We think about how good they are, how good they could treat us. What, that 1 month? That 1 day? But then 90% of the time, they show you that they don't care. That's who they really are. They don't actually care about you. They only care about themselves and what they're interested in and how they feel. And they act based upon how they feel when they cheat on you. They only care about how they feel. They don't care about you. And those are relationships that you need to cut out. And when you get out of that relationship, don't ever look back. And if you're still in that type of relationship, you need to leave. If you're unhappy, why be in a relationship where you're unhappy and they don't treat you well? I have an answer for that too. And a lot of times it's physical attraction. Sometimes when we're attracted to someone physically, we let a lot of things slide, and that's bad. We have to get past that physical attraction and see them for who they are. They don't have a good personality. They don't care about you. And sometimes we think that we can't do any better and that they're the best that we'll ever have. But that's not true. Someone treating you bad is not the best that you can have. You can find someone that will treat you better, that deserves you, that actually genuinely care about you and love you, and will never do anything to hurt you. And I get it, love makes you blind, but we shouldn't ignore the red flags. And you shouldn't give someone that cheats on you a second chance, because they've already showed you that they don't deserve you. You have to find someone that will treat you better, because you deserve it. Don't ever be with someone that's going to disrespect you. Don't ever be with someone that's going to cheat on you and only care about themselves. And if you take them back, the second time that they hurt you is going to hurt even more. When they hurt you again, it's going to hurt even more, because you're going to think, all these chances I gave you, why would you keep hurting me? You said you would change. You promised that you would never hurt me again, that you would never cheat on me again. So why did you do it? And it's going to hurt even more than the first time. So don't put yourself in that position. And it's worse when they have a rebound ready that they were flirting with while being in the relationship with you, and you gave them that second chance. That hurts even more. If they showed you why they don't deserve you, believe them. When you see red flags, they're real. When they don't treat you right, that's who they actually are. Don't make excuses for it. You deserve better. And for those of you that's going through a breakup, you'll get through it. You'll find someone else.